Confession time. I've muted my mic for this entire vlog. So there's lots of this footage of me like this, whittering away in silence. Who knows, maybe that's an improvement. I still thought you guys would like to see this footage though, because A, it's me trying something new, and B, I'm coming back to one of the farms we've done a previous vlog on. Today I'm back at Hepple working with those lovely Longhorns that some of you will have seen in that previous vlog. If you haven't seen it, I've put the link in the video description. As to what we're doing, today we are disbudding the bullock calves. The calves all get a local anaesthetic block as required by law in the UK, plus they get an anti-inflammatory to provide longer term pain relief. This is used increasingly by farmers and increasingly mandated by some farm assurance schemes. The twist today is that I'm going to use some xylazine. This is a sedative to knock these calves down as well. Reducing the stress on animals at any intervention like this is something farmers and vets strive to do. As a bonus, from what I've heard, this method is pretty common for dairy calves in New Zealand, so a good chance to get to grips with the technique I'll no doubt be using more in the near future. We've got about 8 to do today, so they're loaded into the race. They first get their local anaesthetic block, then their anti-inflammatory, then their sedation. The team here are keen to reduce the need to do any procedure like this to a minimum, so heifer calves have been left in the pen with their mothers. They're destined for breeding, so we don't need to worry about their horns. Going forward, the bullocks may well be left with their horns too. That's if we can find an abattoir happy to deal with horned cattle, and that at the moment is the sticky wicket, which means these bullock calves will be getting disbudded. So when they're ready to go for beef, we know that there's an abattoir that's going to be happy to take them. Now, veterinary medicine is an art as well as a science, and sedative dose is just one example. I've weighed these calves using a girth tape, and they've come in at between 90 to 110 kilos. So I've dosed them for 100 kilos using a couple of different protocols recommended by colleagues who do this more often than I do, and 2 were left untreated. I'd love to say these were deliberate control subjects, but in reality I didn't have quite enough sedation for the last couple. Lo and behold, they go down pronto for a little snooze. You can probably tell the difference between those that had the slightly bigger dose, those that got the slightly smaller dose, and that pair at the back that didn't get any sedative at all. I was really impressed with how the sedative complemented the local anaesthetic block here. You can see just how quietly these calves lie down while we disbud them. Disbudding is different to dehorning. You have to remove the horn bud and use the sharp cup of the iron to both scoop out the bud and cauterize the tissue beneath. If you watch, you can probably see me doing some of that scooping as I go around. So this block seems, at least subjectively, to make disbudding less stressful for the calf, plus quicker and safer for the vet and any assistants. I think it's worth noting that xylazine also has a small analgesic effect, so it should complement the pain-killing abilities of the anti-inflammatory I gave them earlier. By the by, you can see what stonkers these calves are. Personally, I've been impressed by these Longhorns, really impressed. Their mothers are just around the corner and have been outwintered on deferred grass. They've had no additional feed bar some homemade hay, and being old-fashioned native cattle, most are in very good nick. Best of all, they have lovely, quiet temperaments, even when not sedated. That was a pleasant surprise as well. And I bet that temperament has helped with the sedation here. That's because xylazine, the sedative, binds to the same receptors as adrenaline, although it has the opposite effect. You can imagine if an animal is flighty and has been stoked up a bit by being gathered in, separated from its mother, and so it has high circulating levels of adrenaline, This adrenaline occupies these receptors, meaning xylazine doesn't get a chance to bind with a subsequently poor sedation. I think that's one of the reasons why this technique isn't as often used on beef calves as it is on dairy calves, which are typically reared artificially and so are a lot more used to and calmer when being handled by humans. Lastly, in favour of the Longhorns, I think they're pretty bonny. So all in all, they've been a revelation for me. If you're after some Hepple Longhorn beef, you can often find them on the menu at the Ox Inn in Middleton if you're local. For me, this visit sums up a lot about why I love being a farm vet. Some things are really simple, working in the sun with people you know and get on with, and can have a bit of crack with, but also being nudged outside my comfort zone to use some of that hard-won knowledge from vet school, using first principle stuff to improve the welfare of the animals under our care and to better serve the clients who keep them. This summer I'll be 5 years graduated, and I'm aware that I'm nowhere near the finished product, and as far as I can see it, that's part of the fun. That's the reason I love visits like this. That's why I love working with the team that I do. That's why I'm looking forward to going to New Zealand and meeting new vets and farmers and trying new things there. And it's the same reason why I enjoy learning to make these vlogs for you. Hopefully they're improving. Hopefully one day I'll not make silly mistakes like forgetting to turn my mic on. And if you'd like to join me as I sharpen my skills, both veterinary and video, as always, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the little bell next to it. That's me for this video. Until next time, over and out.
Come on. Dopey. Come on. I'll carry it. I will carry him.